everyone, we are Group 5. I am Julhaida Emma Malumpong. Today, we will talk about Lesson 7, which is Economic Globalization and Sustainable Development. Lesson Outcome. First, differentiate stability from sustainability. Second, articulate models of global sustainable development. Third, define global food security.
Sustainable
Fourth, critique
development
existing models
is
of
the
global
principle
security.
to achieve the goals of human development while maintaining the ability of nature to produce natural resources and ecosystem services on which the economy and society depend. Environmental degradation is the deterioration of the environment through depletion of resources such as air, water, and soil, the destruction of ecosystems, habitat destruction, the extinction of wildlife, and pollution. It is defined as any change or disturbance to the environment perceived to be deleterious or undesirable. Food security exists when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. There are four main components of food security. First one is availability. So, there is a reliable and consistent source of quality food, like production, import capability, holding stock, secured aid. Second, access. People have sufficient resources to produce and or purchase food. So, example is purchasing, income, transport, infrastructure. So, the third one is utilization. There are safety, hygiene, storage, processing. So, in utilization, people have the knowledge and basic sanitary conditions to choose, prepare, and distribute food in a way that results in good nutrition. So, the last one is stability. So, there are price, political, economical, weather. So, instability, people's ability to access and utilize food that remains stable and sustained over time. So, and I'll give the floor to the next reporter. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Alpea Misi and Madonsa and I'm going to tackle about economic globalization and sustainable development. Now, we will start with economic globalization. It involves a wide variety of processes, opportunities, and problems related to the spread of economic activities among countries around the world. It refers to the increasing interdependence of world economies as a result of the growing scale of cross-border trade of the commodities and services, flow of international capital, and the wide rapid spread of technologies. Economic globalization is the development of trade systems within transactional actors such as corporations or NGOs. Why economic globalization is important? Economic globalization is important. It accelerates economic development and expand the market horizon and increases productivity. And next, sustainable development. It is the overarching paradigm of United Nations. It development that meets the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So, sustainable development is the idea that human societies must live and meet their needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Especially, sustainable development is a way of organizing society so that it can exist in the long term. Sustainable development aims to encourage sustained economic growth by achieving higher levels of productivity and through technological innovation. Sustainable development practices help countries grow in ways that adapt to the challenges posed by climate change, which will in turn help to protect important resources for our and future generation. And the second slide, and the point one, sustainable development pertains to the security of Earth's resources today and for the future generation. The cycle of efficiency, which began in the Industrial Revolution, learns the planet, turns the planet. And the point two, food security is the priority of countries, whether developed or less developed. That's all. Thank you.
Relationship between economic development and sustainable development entail. The second is where can we trace the challenges to food security? These are the answer K. Economic development, although beneficial at one hand, entails costs to the environment. For instance, climate change has accelerated due to pollution and waste from factories around the world. The challenges food security can be traced to the protection of the environment and also the relationship between economic development and sustainable development. It is a situation in which economic development does not decrease over time, while sustainable development it is the development that is everlasting. Sustainable development it is a process in which natural resources base is not allowed to deteriorate to meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. It is a process whereby the development can be sustained for generation. It can afford the future generation the same, if not more, capacity to prosper as the present generation. For example of economic development, improved productivity, higher literacy rates, and better public education are also consequences if there's during development there is a population shifts from agriculture to industry and then to services. While the example of sustainable development, green spaces such as parks, wetlands, lakes, forests, or other ecosystems are fundamental to sustainably develop urban areas. So next topic is sustainability versus stability. First, sustainability is often thought of as long-term goal. The second is stability is the quality state or degree of being stable. Sustainability is basically the ability to maintain something, for example, to maintain the economic growth certain rate or level. Stability, to be in a state of being stable, being resistant to change and not prone to wild fluctuation and emotion. For example, a life that is calm and stable where you don't have wild ups and downs. These are the summary of our topic. The strongest argument against economic globalization is the lack of sustainability as a response sustainable development seek to chart a middle path between economic development and a protective environment. The continuation consumption of the earth resources for economic gains harms our environment, Global food security means delivering food to entire world. This can only be possible if the environment is protected. That will be all. Thank you. Thank you for listening and God bless everyone. Keep safe.